TV. In today's video, we're going to be doing a who's the best in bed spread. I was in the mood to have a little fun. So yeah, I wanted to do the sexual tarot today. I hope my microphone is good. If it goes up and down, I'm not touching it. I think there's like a short in the wires or something. I have two separate Yeti microphones, replacement cords, and all kind of shit. And then like you record, and then you getting your momentum. And then if you find out that the video is messed up afterwards, I mean, it's just a killer. You know what I mean? So I hope that that's not what happens. But if it does, it's not gonna kill you, but it will kill me if I have to try to redo the video. Okay, so I don't know if it's gonna go up and down or not, but I hope that it's all good. Like I said, I'm not gonna touch the cord. Yeah, so we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna do Marsau, Martell, and Maurice. I'm gonna do the sexual tarot on each of them separately. Before we get started, you guys know what to do. Like that video, show out for me, show out for your girl. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, that you have your notification bells on. This is, I mean, it's an adult video. You know what I mean? I don't want to be offensive to anyone. But hey, I mean, women, we're multifaceted, and I have a sexual side, and I try to keep it tempered because, you know, some audience have expressed they don't like that. And listen, if I can do something simple that will make you happy, that's fine. I'm not gonna change who I am, but some things I don't have to do. But every now and again, you know, you're gonna have to suffer me, right? So suffer me, please. All right, y'all. So first person I have up is Marsau. Marsau is coming in as the Knight of Swords. Now, this is so funny to me, and the Knight of Swords is clarified by the Six of Pentacles. Now, I ain't gonna say this is funny per se, but back in the day, right, when I first did the sexual tarot on Melody and Martell, I was gonna go through the whole cast, right? But it was like real early when I started my channel, and somebody like flagged it, and I had to get like an age restriction or something like that. And so I'm like, okay, they flagging videos, like I don't have time for this shit, right? So I'm like, I'm just not gonna do that type of video, right? Because I don't want to mess up the health of the channel so early on. But I did look in those cards, right? Now, when I looked in the cards, I didn't post a video. When I looked in the cards, it showed me that Marsau like kind of like forced himself with Letitia when they were younger, and then kind of like went with it. So like, I'll give you an example. Like my homegirl, her boyfriend that she was with for maybe like 5 years, the first time they had sex, he forced himself, and then he became her boyfriend. I don't know if he was trying to like, you know, escape it, or if he didn't mean to force himself, but what I'm saying is that she didn't want to do it, and he quote unquote overwhelmed her. So technically that's classified as, you know, the R word. And then I don't know if his strategy was to be her man. I don't know what the details are, but it was showing something similar between Marsau and Letitia, and saying that she wasn't necessarily ready to have sex with him, but he forced the issue somehow, and then ended up becoming her man. Now, I know you guys have told me in the comments like, oh, he married her because she got pregnant and da da da. No, I think he married her because he may have R-worded her and didn't want to face the consequences. Now, this is according to the tarot, allegedly. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just telling what the card showed me. I don't know if it's true or not, right? I'm just saying that that's what was in the cards, right? So keep it on that level. I mentioned that to say that was like, what, a couple months ago when I first started my channel. Now I'm pulling up this whole new spread, whole new energy and everything, and it's coming in again as Marsau, coming in as the Knight of Swords. This is a forceful person when it comes to sexuality. You know what I mean? This is a person who's very cold and very kind of like, I don't want to say like methodical, but I don't know, he just gives me like a real kind of like technically efficient sexual partner. You know what I mean? You know how you get those niggas and they like to learn the craft, like they're totally immersed in sexuality. Like this dude I was fucking with, he's a Mars and Scorpio, and he's a Venus in Scorpio. And it's like everything, like he would almost like study sex to a science, and he would be like, you know, I want to try this on you, and I bet you I can make you do this. You know how guys get off on watching you squirt and shit like that. And some women squirt, some women cream, but he's like, no, I watched this doctor and everybody could squirt, and I just got to do this and I just got to do that, you know. But it was almost soulless. You know what I mean? It's like dude, like he wanted to do something to see if he could. You know what he remind me of? He remind me of that doctor on The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, now that I think about it. Like, I'm so happy this nigga is a painter and not a gynecologist, because he would be doing some creepy shit now that I think about that shit. But my point is that his approach to sexuality is very technical, and it didn't really, I don't know, it was like, it was weird because he was technical, but then when he would like have sex, he would be saying things like, tell me you love me, and he got off on like the emotion of connecting, but it's like, I don't love you, you know what I mean? But he got off on hearing stuff like that. But at the same time, his approach to sex was very technical, you know what I mean? Marsau is that type of guy, you know what I mean? Oh my God, wow, that guy is a Libra too. Y'all said he's a September Libra. I don't know what Marsau was, but he was a Libra too. I don't know, but I've had Libras be good. I don't know. I feel like my favorite, one of my best signs in bed, I think, is a Capricorn. I think that's one of my favorites. I like Leos. Leos are overrated though. I'm not gonna hold you. But I don't know. They're just very, you know, masculine, and I like that feeling. What other signs do I like in bed? Pisces be down for whatever. I haven't even been through the whole zodiac, wink wink. But anyways, I'm gonna stop right there, because my body count is 3, right? Every woman knows that her body count is 3, right? So anyways, Marsau does that. He's the type of person who doesn't even show any emotion towards anything outside of the bedroom. And then when he comes in the bedroom, he wants to hear like this wealth of emotions and feelings that you have for him as he handles your body in like a very technical way. Very weird, very weird. But you know what I think it is? I think that with this Knight of Swords, he's just more of the conqueror type. I think that he's the type of person who gives a certain type of woman one feeling, and then his goal after that is to see how many women he can give that same feeling, or who he can overcome next. And I did so. I mean, I this is him now, but I am showing, I'm gonna get here, is some infidelity in his past that caused him to lose his virility. I don't know if the nigga got erectile dysfunction or whatever, but how's that for karma if you running around cheating and now your dick don't work? I mean, I don't know, but I haven't got there, so I don't know if that's exactly the extent of it, but I'll read it when I get there, right? So he prides himself on being technically skillful in the bedroom, but again, it's very cold and very detached. But then he wants you to show him this emotion, you know what I mean? He loves to talk people out their panties. That's his thing with this Knight of Swords. He loves to run his mouth, you know what I mean? And I'm showing that he gets his. Now, I don't know what everybody else, I don't know. He seems like a pleaser. Now, you might not be emotionally pleased by fucking Marsau, but technically he does know how to navigate a woman's body. I'm not going to take that away from him. He can give you an orgasm. That's what he can do. The problem is that I feel like once he gives one woman an orgasm, he wants to take the show on the road like some type of circus freak and perform. You know what I mean? He wants to say, you get an orgasm, you get an orgasm, you get an orgasm. You know what I mean? That's his thing. He's very determined to watch you squirt, watch you cream, watch you squirm, and he definitely expects his reward after putting in all that work, that education, that information. His reward is for you to say, I love this dick. You know what I mean? I want to marry this dick. I want to keep this dick. That's his reward. If you would just express your emotions towards his technicality, the nigga would be yours, put in your hands for the rest of his life. Very, very, I don't know, very like dedicated. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna call the nigga crazy because he ain't a king of swords in reverse and no shit like that. But the Knight of Swords, listen, he'll definitely be the King of Swords before he clock out this motherfucker. I'm gonna say it to you that way. You know what I mean? I can respect though that he has like a raw kind of lust and passion, or a passionate attitude towards sex. You know what I mean? I just feel like I feel like he studies it. I feel like he wants it. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you. This Knight of Swords is crossed by the Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is it is a depraved element to the way that Marsau gives sex, but I think his depravity is more mental, or is depraved in the sense that he's totally detached from the act of sex and intimacy, and he just wants to see you come. You know what I mean? It's no feelings about it. But then with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, it's almost like he would get jealous if he found out you were with somebody else. So for instance, with him cheating, as he is cheating, I mean, I'm just going to say it to you like that, according to the tarot cards, right? With him coming in as cheating, and this Six of Pentacles in reverse, this is like saying he would even go as far as to be jealous of the women that he's cheating with. He would go as far as to be jealous of them having sex with other people, or having sex with the people that they're with. You know what I mean? And I feel like there is a part of him, because his penis is beautiful. It's coming in as beautiful in this spread, but it's still very average. You know what I mean? But he thinks that he has a superior penis, and so he runs around here with like this cock squagger, based on his technical ability in the bedroom, but it's making him feel like he has big dick energy, but he really just has an average sized dick, but he definitely knows how to fuck. I'm not going to take that away from him. And his penis is beautiful. It's like perfectly shaped. He has a good head on it. I'm sorry, but it's looking nice. It's looking nice. You know what I mean? But yeah, it doesn't change the fact that he kind of like, I don't know, his approach to sexuality, because it's so detached and scientific, and honestly it's giving me like cold mortuary room. I don't know why I keep feeling like the mortuary or the coroner's office, like it's just cold and stilly. And I think from that perspective it can have like that kind of evil, like that leery, like it's leery, you know what I mean? And I feel like it can be like a sense of torture when you're dealing with somebody that's strictly approaching your vagina for the purposes of making it do something, but have no concern about who you are. You know what I mean? Like for that matter, like, could you be with a blow-up doll? You know what I mean? You know how they make those little designer silicone blow-up dolls and shit that look like real people? Now, he can't do that because he needs to see the woman's reaction, but at the same time it just kind of gives you like that vibe, like, I don't know, it's a little too creepy, right? Now he got this Five of Wands and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, that's a beautiful penis. That is a beautiful penis, and that's where he's coming in right now. I'm gonna get to the Five of Wands because that's our recent past, but the Four of Wands represents him being very secure in his ability to make people come. You know what I mean? And he has like this harem. He has this catalog of women lovers in his mind. They're like lodged in his mind. I don't know if he has like some type of burn book where he jots down and he records every sexual interaction. He records the way the woman looked, how she responded, how she gave it up. You know what I mean? He keeps that locked in his mind. He has like a brain full of all kind of different women and lovers. Like, he fuck with skinny women, big women, middle-sized women, big titties, little titties, big ass, small ass, old women. You know what I mean? It was funny because earlier I was like, you know what, I should do a reading on Wanda and Marsau. But then I was like, as I was like I was getting downloads like, okay, he's giving her some type of allowance and she's turning a blind eye to the shit that he has going on. In addition to the fact that I saw in a reading that he pretty much bottom lined her and told her to get out their business anyway. But I'm like, she's swinging hard, like she getting hit off with some cash like Tina Turner mama did up in What's Love Got to Do With It, right? Anyways, Marsau got a pretty dick. He do, and his fuck face, this song that's playing in the background, when he busting that, it looks real good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm just not. He got it. he got it. Now the issue though is that he's not faithful with this Five of Wands here in reverse, he's not faithful. He's always juggling multiple people to have sex with him. Like I said, I feel like that's for his own gratification and trying to conquer people and see how much he can get under his belt. You know what I mean? This five of wands in reverse, this is a fucking cheater. This is a person who likes to talk people out their draws, trick people out their draws. And I feel like people, even Letitia, you know what? She might not leave him because the dick is so fucking good. Like straight up and down. And I hate to say it and I hate to admit it because I've seen his reading and I know that nigga is crazy in the head. But you know what? That makes me wonder, because in his previous readings, everybody was telling me like he was in love with Melody, right? And I did a reading myself and it showed that he was in love. Like this nigga literally had like the King of Cups, the Two of Cups. He had every love card that you could have in his spread towards her. And I'm wondering in my head right now as I look at this spread, I'm like, is it possible that he just wanted to see her? You know what I mean? Maybe because she's so tight in the face. Or is she tight in the face? I don't know. She strikes me as a person who would have an attitude around men to kind of lure them in. You know what I mean? I don't see her as like the friendly type or the cute type. She seems like more of a siren. But I'm wondering if he became fixated on wondering what she would look like if he was to give her an orgasm, and he got that thought like caught in his head or something like that. Because this is a tricky person. You know what I mean? And I feel like that. Now, one thing about him is that when him and Letitia are fighting, he can't get hard. You know what I mean? So I think that may be another reason why he kind of like leaves home. I saw in his previous spread that he leaves home a lot. And I don't know if he's saying like he's going for a drive in the country, up the coast. I don't know what the scene is, but it was looking like he was leaving at night a lot. You know what I mean? And I feel like when he argues with her, or he thinks they're arguing, he feels like he's drained, or he may say things like I'm drained by this or something like that. I listen, I'm getting PTSD just thinking about that line, because I was dating this guy and he told me, he's like something, this shit is emotionally draining. And I'm like, nigga, what? I'm like, you must be talking about somebody else, because the last thing I am is emotionally draining, because I'm independent. I handle my own shit. You know what I mean? And every now and then if I get something I need to confront or address, it is what it is. But I was like, draining? Like that shit turned me all the way off. But at the same time, in looking at Marsau's reading, I see that there are men who he feels like he's being emotionally drained by arguing with Letitia in some type of way. Letitia, with this King of Pentacles and down here in their past, I feel like at a certain point he provided her with some type of security that maybe he loosened up or took away from her. But again, that's because your vitality is fucking taken away because you fucking other people. You know what I mean? So it's like if you getting all the nut drained out of you by some other bitch to the point where you can't have no emotional conversation with me without feeling drained, that's not cool. You know what I mean? But don't make it like it's me when you just tired from fucking and having your fucking nuts drained. You know what I mean? So that's how this is coming out, you know, in my opinion or whatever, right? He's lying. He's lying about cheating. He's lying about sex. And like I said, I feel like he used to be a little bit more virile, or he used to be a little bit more strong in the bedroom, and I feel like he's lost some of that a little bit. And this is in the recent past, so I don't know if he's taken some rhino or some ginseng or some ginkgo biloba or some type of supplement to help him with that. But I think that maybe he started to rely on alternative ways to give women orgasms because he's not as virile as he used to be. And I think that this is coming in to me as a little bit of karma for being like deceitful or lying in his marriage, because that's what is coming across in this reading. Is like, it's almost like he lost his raw sexual passion, and now he had to like study and figure out different ways to give women orgasm, whether that's through giving them head or, you know, fingering them, like, you know, but not fingering like when we was kids, but more so like, you know, trying to find your G-spot, you know, putting pressure on it and things like that, and, you know, seeing what he can make happen. But I feel like now that I'm looking at this, it's almost making me feel like you lost like the virility that you had, and that's why you started to study sexuality to figure out alternative ways to give women orgasms. Like, I was watching some shit the other day, like whatever, right? this nigga was talking about how he can give women orgasms without touching them. And he was like manipulating energy, like through, you know how they say like kundalini energy and shit like that. Now, I practice things like tantra, sexual meditation, but I touch. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get in there and, you know, so I'm like, what the hell he got going on? I would never trust nobody to give me an orgasm without touching me. That just seems weird, right? Now I'm showing like, yeah, so with him losing a lot of some of his strength and libido, from cheating or being deceitful, now it's almost like he has to work very hard to get a nut himself. I don't feel like he's, you know what, Marsau's he's not ejaculating. Wow, this is interesting. So he started as a pleaser and a conqueror of women because he wanted to get that response out of them, and now he's turned into more like a slave to women because I don't feel like he's not able to perform. I feel like it's just not easy for him to be pleased by a woman. And you know what, I wonder if that has something to do with why he keeps on being a serial cheater, or why he keeps on feeling like he needs to find a different type of woman, because he can't maybe accept the fact that he's not able to come anymore. Is that some type of punishment? Wow. I can't believe that. Wow. That's interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? And then the cool part about it is that his penis, like I told you guys, is very attractive and beautiful. And it's also very sensitive to the touch. But my thing is, so are you like getting blue balls? Like how, like your penis is sensitive, but you're not ejaculating, but you're giving other people orgasms. So wouldn't the math end you up with blue balls? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I feel like he's having like a over sex drive from one respect and trying to master his technical ability, but then in another respect, he's not coming. Or I don't know, you guys are the ones who said he had a vasectomy. I wonder if that affects their ability to I don't know, to have like great orgasms. I don't know. But anyways, that's Marsau. Okay, so next up we're gonna get started on Martell Holt. Now, this is interesting because I didn't tell you guys the story, right? Back when I did Martell and Melody in Between the Sheets reading, right? It was showing me that he had like a little micro penis, right? And I'm looking at the sexual tarot cards. There's all kind of art on here. I can't show it obviously because of YouTube. I don't show the cards anyway, but it's a pretty graphic tarot deck, I'm gonna put it that way. So I'm like, okay, yeah, he'd be pissing on his balls, right? Now that night, or maybe like a couple nights later, I actually had a dream about Martell's penis. And I'm going to draw it for you guys on a piece of paper, and I'm going to post it on the community wall so that you guys can get an accurate description of what his penis actually looks like. It's average, you know what I mean? It's not like Asian, you know, small. It's average. It's a little below it's a little below average. Anyways, I'm going to draw it according to the memory in my dream. And I'll post it on the community wall, and I'll make sure that it's on the community wall by the time that y'all get this video so that y'all can go look and see, right? So I didn't tell that story because at the time I didn't want it to seem like I was lusting over Martell, which I'm not. It just came to me in a dream. It wasn't anything that I chose, but I just thought the timing was wrong for me to share that information, so I kind of just kept it to myself, okay? But yeah, so that's what it is, right? Now, Martell, the overall energy for his spread is the Seven of Wands in reverse. This doesn't really have anything to do with the cards. It's just the bottom of the deck. It has something to do with it, but not like that. He has a whole spread, but this overall energy, I don't ignore it, because with this Seven of Wands in reverse, this shows like impotence. You know what I mean? And honestly, it shows like a sense of him having been sexually embarrassed in more than one situation. Now, with his sexual embarrassment or impotence or whatever the situation is, I don't know. I hate to say the things that I'm about to say, but I'm just going to read the cards. Remember, you guys, this is allegedly according to the tarot cards. I don't know these people. Please do not take it as the gospel. I have to say that because some stuff is about to come up. Anyway, so I think Martell's early sex life has something to do with him being embarrassed about something. You know what I mean? And I think that what he's embarrassed about is his sexual preferences or what he actually likes. And for some reason, when he gets ready to come, he kind of hesitates, or he doesn't like let it out. I don't know if he's like doing that thing where they call it, I think it's called like stealthing or something like that, where you like hold your nut back to prolong it. I don't even think it's something like that. I think it's something a little bit more debilitating. I don't know, but anyways, I feel like it has to do with some type of anxiety, with him being embarrassed about having like sexual pleasure in some type of way. But again, that could go inside with something maybe having happened to him in childhood, where maybe he had like some type of like homosexual encounter, or he was violated in some type of way, even if it wasn't by another man or boy or something like that, and he ended up having an orgasm during that interaction, and from then on he became ashamed of sex in some type of way. And even if it wasn't something where it was done forcefully, it could have just been him having some type of like experience with another young man and being turned on by it, or even watching gay porn as a young boy. I think my last reading talked about some transitioning or some shit was going on with him between the ages of 8 and 9. I don't know, but whatever it was, he ended up, I think, having an inappropriate orgasm in some type of situation, and it shaped his sexual preferences to the point where now, like when he's with women, he gets anxiety, or he becomes distressed, like during sex or when it's time to have sex. And I think it leads to like a sense of like impotence or something in him. Anyways, that's what the 7 of Wands means, right? Whew, child. I was trying to have a little fun tonight, but these niggas would get deep on me. So that's the overall energy for the spread. So he's coming in as the nine of Wands, which is in the upright, but the Page of Cups is in reverse. And this is kind of what, I don't know, you guys, like I have to be honest, the Page of Cups in reverse is like it's like a gay, it is a gay seducer. You know what I mean? It's a person who, I don't know if he seduces men of the opposite sex, or if he's gay himself, or if he just is gay for pay, or if he just has a seductive attitude when it comes to other men. There's some deception around his sexuality, but I think it has to do with like a streak of rebelliousness. I have the Devil card here as well. So I don't even know if he was like forced to be with some type of woman. Like, I don't know if there was like an older woman that maybe forced him to be with her, and his act of rebellion was to like hit on men or something like that. I don't know. That's the only thing that I could think of. You know what I mean? But he's a person who, he's very attracted to mothers, you know what I mean? Or he's very attracted to wives. And I feel like he kind of like sits in the wings and waits to deal with maybe other men's wives. I don't know if he dealt with women who were like inebriated, but it's almost like a situation where he was like an opportunist in sex, and he kind of like sits and waits to defile a woman, or to, I don't know, to get her into some like weird position. You know what I mean? The Page of Cups in reverse is also a person who will fabricate a friendship with a woman in order to get in her panties or have sex with her. Now what's funny though is that this Queen of Swords is in the background or of this reading, or you know, I call it the subconscious all the time, but it's really the background. It's unseen forces, it's things that are moving the situation. Now the Queen of Swords, she represents lesbians. And remember in the reading that I did with him and Martell, how I was saying that Sheree was not sexually attracted to men? I find that very interesting, that this card would be in this spread as a lesbian. You know what I mean? I don't know. But the Queen of Swords is somebody who does not get pleasure from sex. You know what I mean? And I don't know if she has like penis envy, or something like that. But the Queen of Swords is lonely. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I feel like Sheree is here, but she spends a lot of time like maybe like masturbating because she's so alone and lonely. And I'm wondering, with her being alone, lonely, and a lesbian, and then Martell coming in as kind of like this gay seducer who pretends to be your friend for sex, I wonder if somehow that connects them in some type of way. You know what I mean? Sheree, there was a penis maybe that she had in her life that she no longer has access to, that she craves. And I feel like she maybe had turned to lesbianism or turned to dealing with other women because she longs for this particular penis that she had. Maybe she was in love with it or something like that. Maybe that's something that Martell understands in a way, because there was like maybe some woman in his past that also facilitated him having like a gay inclination, just like she has one. They share some type of like secret karmic link with each other, but it's in regards to the devil energy, which is the Capricorn, which just came up in the spread. And I think that's a motivating factor for them in some type of way. Really, really deep connection. I don't know, you guys. This is weird. This is totally weird. Now, Martell in the recent past had the Ten of Cups, though. Now, the Ten of Cups would say that at some point he was satisfied sexually dealing with women. You know what I mean? Like, this nigga looks like he was swinging off chandeliers. I showed that them orgasms was popping off too when I did him and Melody spread. So he felt like he had like the perfect sexual situation with her at some point. But I think maybe like his pathology or his like dark past or something like that, he's psychologically fucked up through sex. And I feel like maybe that creeped in at some point. Like maybe at some point they had a good sex life. You know what I mean? And for her to have 4 kids and have not been able to get rid of him when he was cheating, she liked that dick at some point. Like, let's just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? But I do feel like at some point that changed, because with this devil energy, it is showing that at some point he became depraved. And I wonder if he became depraved because he was not able to act out some of this kind of like gay, this gay shit that he has going on. You know what I mean? It's weird because I don't show that he wants to be in a relationship with a man, but there's some sexual stimulation that he gets from interacting with men in a sexual way. You know what I mean? When he was in the recent past, you have the Ten of Cups sexually. This is perfect sex. This is perfect orgasms. This is harmony with each other sexually. You know what I mean? This is almost as good as it gets, but maybe in some type of way that triggered something in him. Or again, maybe, I don't know, maybe his past started calling him and he wanted, I don't know, you guys, but it's weird. It's weird. And then that recent past is leading to him going out of that perfect harmony into this devil situation. You know what I mean? The devil is a pervert. Like, let's talk about it. The devil is evil in sexuality that brings things that are just like that you can't fathom, whether it's sexual abuse, whether it's being dishonest, whether it's, you know, I don't know, just a lot of deceitful energy, kind of like almost like a disregard for human beings, or like trying not to dignify somebody. You know, the devil likes to ravage people. They're into sodomy. They're into sexual violence. And it stems from like a sense of pettiness inside of them. You know what I mean? So it's like almost like somebody can tick him off in a way, or he could have his ego bruised in a way. And I don't know if through this helplessness with him coming in as a Page of Cups, which is in the regular tarot emotionally immature, but in the sexual tarot it's a gay guy, right? I don't know if that triggers him and then he starts to go into like a dark sexuality, because when those little slights happen to him, maybe he's regressed to a time where he was like violated, or he participated in something sexually that he may not have should have when he was a kid or something like that. And then he gets like these kind of like depraved thoughts. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm saying depraved because you guys seem not to want me to use the word dark side. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of another word, but that's just what it is. You know what I mean? The devil card, this is like a nymphomaniac. You know what I mean? This is a person that's hypersexual. This is a person that's going to have sex with a second cousin at the family reunion. This is a man that's going to fuck your friends. This is a man that's going to have sex with their friends' wives. This is an energy vampire. This is a sexual vampire. This is a cheater. You know what I mean? But I wonder, like I feel like he was triggered by some type of security in this relationship. And I don't know if some type of glitch happened. You know how they say like mental illness onsets at a certain age in people? There was like a certain juncture in their marriage where I feel like his mental issues and trauma like tripped in. And I don't even know if he knew where or how to get help from that. But I feel like it plays a strong part in why he switched from being sexually content and satisfied and then went into like this trifling ass energy. You know what I mean? I feel like there was like a sense of punishment. There's like a sense of punishment to his sexuality. And I wonder like who you're punishing in your mind. You know what I mean? Like this is deep. Like this is deep because it can borderline on abuse in the way that he kind of like ill dignifies the people that he's sleeping with, but it's as a result of his like conflicted sexuality. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of like reminds me of, did you guys remember like back in the day when Tasha K did that interview with Wendy Williams? I don't know who this guy was. His name was Avon, but he was claiming that he had sex with Wendy Williams' husband. And he was like, he just came in my house one day after I had just took a doo-doo and he ate my butt and he just had sex with me so rough and aggressively. And then he just walked out or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, what was going in your mind like to made you want to conquer a man's ass like so ravishly? Like what happened that day? You know what I mean? Or to get conquered. You know what I mean? That to me always scares me about men in general and their sexual nature, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I just feel like even when I used to work at like this daycare, it was like one of the parents, they were like one of the more rich parents, and one of the kids came with in their backpack. They had a porn video in their backpack, and it was like Asian transvestite porn. And this was the most cookie cutterist nigga, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, like, I don't know. I feel like men's sexuality has like a darkness that's, you know, unfathomable. Not to mention, that's why a lot of sex workers don't fuck with niggas, because they come in contact with too much, you know, depravity in their ass. You know what I mean? They like, oh hell no, I wouldn't let no man touch me for free, because they know who they really are. Even though they technically are dealing with debilitated men, but still, you know what I mean? Like 90% of people are debilitated. You know what I mean? Anyways, I was trying to have fun. I wasn't trying to see all that tonight. But that's Martell Ho. Let's move right along to Maurice Scott. The overall energy for his segment is the High Priestess. So I'm guessing that this is Kimmy. She's all over this spread. So I don't know. There's another woman here, and I'll get to that. I don't know how this person fits in it. But Kimmy's here, and I feel like she's representing herself as the High Priestess. The High Priestess can be this kind of spirit of motherhood, right? But she's also a person that will go to the ends of the earth to please a man. Like there's literally nothing that she's not willing to do. She's very primitive sexually. You know what I mean? So it's almost like sex brings out the animal in her. And that's why I think that I see this Two of Cups here in their recent past, because I'm showing that she definitely liked to be on top. You know what I mean? And when she was on top, she was like, look, ma, no hands. You know what I mean? Like, she let them titties fly, put that head behind the back, and she was going in on that nigga. You know what I mean? Because she was like sexually free. You know what I mean? And I feel like her sexuality goes so deep that she can almost come across as exploitive herself, but it's really just her having this side of her in the bedroom that's very animalistic. You know what I mean? You could call her a pervert, you could call him a pervert, but the high priestess doesn't acknowledge shit like that. It ain't no such thing as a pervert. It's just anything goes. Any animalistic desire or inclination that I have, we're gonna do that, period, point blank. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of secrets between them sexually as well. Now remember, I told you guys when I first did their sexual tarot, they was coming in as having shared an STD with each other, and I don't know if that's the tie that binds. I know my homegirl, her man gave her STDs, and they stopped her from being able to have kids, and they ended up getting married, but she had already had a kid. He didn't have any kids, so now he don't get no kids. You know what I mean? Because he married her because he gave her STD that fucked up her womb and shit. You know what I mean? This is a secret that they have. Well, I guess it's not a secret if she told me, but what I'm trying to say is that they have some type of secrets together. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if Kimmy can't have kids or something like that, or if she had fibroids or something, but it seems like she couldn't get pregnant by him. Or, I don't know, with this high priestess, she could have been on birth control. But I don't know. I feel like she was not able to have kids anymore in that relationship, and I feel like that made it more like a safe situation for Maurice as well. Maybe he didn't want any more kids himself, or he didn't want to take that risk, or I don't know, maybe he still just has love for his child's mother and he just doesn't want to share that type of level of bond with somebody else. You know what I mean? But marriage was okay, but maybe having kids was not okay for him. Yeah, I don't know. Now with the high priestess too, just like in the last spread, sometimes the high priestess can represent like a latent, right, lesbianism in a woman. You know what I mean? So where they find out later in life that they have more companionship or more compatibility with women than men. And so I would guess that if her and Maurice ever broke up, that Kimmy would be with a woman instead, and this would be a relationship that was based on companionship, compatibility, love, harmony. It would be like an older woman, maybe like an older Filipino woman, for something that's coming in my head. Maybe her name is D, or starts with a D, or Diana or something like that. Maybe somebody who worked with her in a hospital in the past. You know, all them Filipinos working at the hospital or something like that. But if her and Maurice break up, I feel like she's not going to be straight anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like she's definitely going to date women. Now, the majority, the other thing that tripped me out about their spread is that the majority of their spread was Cups energy. We know the Cups energy is kind of like the realm of emotions, right? So coming in, Maurice is coming in as the Knight of Cups, but it's in reverse. That's clarified by the Ace of Cups. And then I had that Two of Cups in the recent past, which is what I was talking about when I talked about her, you know, being on top, or her being very much into him. You know what I mean? Should I say it like that? Maurice with this Nine of Cups, I feel like he's sexually, I don't feel like he's all that sexually developed or mature. And if I was to go out on a limb, I feel like Kimmy turned him out. You know what I mean? And I don't say that in a negative way, but I'm saying that she was much more sexually liberated and hungry and ravenous than he was. You know what I mean? I feel like he was the nigga like to pull the sheets up to his neck afterwards. You know what I mean? And want to suck his thumb. You know what I mean? Maurice with this Knight of Cups, you know, he's very cunning. And I'm showing that even though he ended up with Kimmy, his preference would have been like a virgin. You know what I mean? And I feel like him choosing something so opposite as an older woman is to cover up the fact that he actually has a thing for women who are very young. Now, this just clicked in my head because when I did their reading, I don't know if you guys heard it, but it was showing that he was like tricking, or he was spending money out of their household on this young girl between the ages like 23 and 29. Now, in that reading, it was saying like he was blaming the money missing from their house as the baby mama asking him for more money. but really he was taking that money and like giving it to some young girl that he had a one night stand with, right? Now with you coming in as this Knight of Cups in reverse, this is saying that you have a preference or a penchant for dating younger women. Like, I mean, like 18-year-olds. I mean, like girls gone wild, and or something like that. Or he prefers dealing with women who are like virgins, who he can deflower or be their first to. Now, I don't know if that's because he feels sexually inadequate next to Kimmy, who's off the chain in the bedroom. She's good in bed. It depends on what you consider good, but by the look of these cards, she get it in. I'm not mad at it at all. But at the same time, I show that he maybe wants someone that's a little bit more unexperienced or inexperienced sexually. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to be the one to take it from you. He's attracted to taking women's virginity, and he's attracted to much younger women. So to my point, could you have some type of shame about this? Like, about your thing for underage women, underage girls, whether you even like them 16 or 17 or 18 or 19? Could you have so much shame about this that you would gaslight the world by getting with a woman that was in her 50s to cover up for the fact that you like women that are underaged? Does that make any sense to you guys psychologically? I don't know. That just kind of dawned on me, because the Knight of Cups, he ain't honest. He a fraud. He a fraud in the regular tarot. You know what I mean? This is a person who be tricking people. You know what I mean? And it's a person who has like those double sides, those two sides. And wouldn't two sides of a coin be you liking virgins and you liking senior citizens? Doesn't that represent a type of duplicity? You know what I mean? That is tripping me out though, right? So I feel like him being with Kimmy is just a cover up for his I don't know. I mean, you can't call him a pedophile because women are grown, but he has a penchant for young versions. That's what he wants. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is what gives him nourishment, or what gives him that sense of joy, or that's his version of an ultimate sexual feeling or healing. Even with this Ace of Cups, it makes me feel like you like to impregnate virgins. You know what I mean? Like, could you, I don't know, was his baby mama a virgin when they met or something like that? I don't know, but I feel like that's his dream, is to, I don't know. I feel like he's like a person, if he couldn't get a virgin pregnant, he wouldn't want anybody pregnant or something like that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's like an experience that he dreams of. I don't know if he's cruising the internet or the black market. You know how some women sell their virginities? Like, they had that one Arabian woman, I think she got like up to $2 million because people were bidding on it. Now, with him taking money out of his household and paying some young girl, is he trying to pay somebody to break their virginity? Man, I hope I'm not really like discovering that right now. Like, are you trying to pay somebody? Is that why you're spending so much money out of the household? That's crazy, right? Yeah, definitely. You got this Three of Cups in reverse. This is like, to me, sexual excess, but I feel like this excess is in him fantasizing or even masturbating to the thought of being able to have access to a young girl or a virgin to the point where he's willing to pay for it. I feel like his issue with Kimmy, because the Three of Cups can't be satisfied. And even though Kimmy she's good in bed, she got it. I'm telling y'all right now, Kimmy knows how to give it up. But he was not satisfied by her. And maybe him, man, maybe he was serious when he was kept trying to like hound her for sex. I don't know if he was trying to like overcompensate for the fact that he wasn't getting off on her because she wasn't what he really wanted. You know what I mean? And so he would like just have sex with her for the sake of like busting a nut. Maybe that helped taper him down from spending money or seeking virgins online or something like that. I show a lot of masturbation when it comes to Maurice Scott. That nigga is like a cereal jacker or a chicken choker or whatever they call it. Like, he be pulling that thing like damn, nigga, you finna pull that shit off the bones. Like, damn. This is tripping me the F out. Child. Then they got this Emperor reverse, and this Emperor reverse is here too. But who is this Queen of Wands though? Because the Queen of Wands is here and she's in reverse, and this is showing like somebody that's on the scene like right now. You know what I mean? I feel like he has another woman, but see, the Queen of Wands in reverse is also a wife though that be cheating. And I don't know if Kimmy necessarily be cheating, but I wouldn't put it past her. She could, but there's two ways the Queen of Wands come across. She's either Mrs. Steal Your Man, because she like to take people's husbands, but the other one is a wife that cheats on her husband. Now, like I said, I seen that Kimmy and Martell was sexting, maybe being inappropriate, but I didn't see no actual crossing of the line. But with Kimmy coming in as so sexually ferocious, I can imagine that she has imagined herself putting it down on any one of these niggas at any given moment, just because she got it like that. I'm not gonna hold you, she has it like that. But then there's this other woman, and I feel like it's another woman. It's like a home wrecker. You know what, there's another woman. But I'm wondering if this is this younger woman who he's been spending this money on that I seen in the other spread. This young girl, like I said, between the age of 23 and 29, that he had a one night stand with, but that he had been giving money to, but I didn't show that they was together anymore. And so I'm like wondering if she got this nigga on the hook, like she put it down on him sexually, and then she's like dragging this nigga for his money, but claiming like, I'm not going to give you any, or I'm not going to keep sleeping with you while you're married, or you're a married man. Like now she's using that as an excuse to like get money out of him. But she's also jealous of the fact that he's married too, or jealous of the fact that he has a woman. You know, if he leaves Kimmy and goes off with this woman, she is going to be the perfect karma for his ass, because this little broad is a trip. Like, this is an unstable little broad. You know what I mean? Like, she be lying to this nigga hella much, and she can't be trusted. But at the same time, I think she's making him think that she really wants him, and he's like paying for that. But then she's not actually giving it to him, because then she's saying, no, you got a wife. So I'm wondering if she's trying to trick his mind into like leaving his wife, even though she don't want him. She just want to drag the nigga. Damn. Now that was cold, because when I seen that reading with him and Here for Tea, the Queen of Wands was also there. Now that was in a different capacity, a different reading, but that's here as well. Huh. That's very interesting. That's very, very, very interesting. My thoughts are very much swirling, and I'm not going to even entertain them. I'm going to light this sage. I'm going to put these cards down, and I'm going to walk away from this Southern hospitality, because y'all seem to be doing too much in the South, and I ain't got time. I really don't have time. Like, what's really going on? Then he has the Emperor in reverse as the final card of the spread. You know, the Emperor in reverse also looks for virgins. Has he never took a woman's virginity? You guys think, is that what the issue is? Like, is that some type of like hang up that he's had in life? Or did he take the baby mama's virginity and he's been like longing for that feeling ever since? Because the Emperor in reverse is a person that also looks for virgins. What's up with this? Is it a power dynamic? Like, is it that he doesn't have any power in his dynamic with Kimmy, and he's so unaccomplished that he thinks that a woman who's a virgin will do? Now, in all actuality, a virgin is just a woman who doesn't belong to a man. It doesn't even have to do with sex. It's just a woman who's not claimed. You know what I mean? So, looking at it that further, are we talking about literal virgins to sex, or just women who don't belong to anybody? Because this Queen of Wands is here. She damn sure ain't no virgin. But she ain't claimed either. You know what I mean? She's unspoken for. So I'm wondering, are you looking for women who are unspoken for, or are you looking for an actual cherry to pop or something like that? But with this Knight of Cups in reverse, you're looking for an actual virgin for sure. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's trying to, again, you know, I don't know if he's trying to recoup something from his past. I don't know. But with this Emperor reverse, I have to assume that there's some type of power or something that he feels like he can exert over a virgin that he can't exert over Kimmy. Because even though he's hounding her for sex, I don't show that he could keep up with her. I don't. And maybe that's why he's so gaslighty and weird and cheating on her and has this energy with her, because he's trying to undermine her in some type of way. But it's hurt her so much. Not only did she turn on herself and become sick, or he could have given her something, but now the next person that she's going to be with is a Filipino woman from work. That's how a nigga will do a number on you. You know what I mean? You got to really, man, y'all got to cleanse y'all energy, because these niggas will have your head fucked up. What the hell? Listen, I did not mean to go this far. OMG, y'all. Listen, let me know what you guys think of the real the real husbands of Huntsville sexual tarot video. Y'all sound off in the comments. Let me know how you guys feel about this type of reading. Stay tuned for the InherAlchemist product launch. Remember, if you guys want to partner with me, promote the product, email me so I can assign you your referral code and start making money. Anybody you refer that makes a purchase, you get a kickback. That's free money all day, every day. You don't have to do anything for it. I think it's great. I think it's a way for all of us to win together. So yeah, you guys hit me up. I think I'm going to be launching in the middle of April. But those of you guys who are interested, I do have a batch now. You can just email me or text me and we can work it out. But yeah, that's my reading, y'all. Sound off in them comments. Sound off in them comments. Let me know what you think. Like this video. Make sure you're subscribed. And I'll see you guys on the next one.